welcome Twitch peeps. How are you today? And welcome YouTube. Alright. I got tricked. Again. The servers have already gotten set up for sign up, or opened for sign up. So that's super cool. I guess, we'll be doing that a little earlier than I expected, but I still need to go in and do some work on this live stream just to make sure that we're all good. Allergies are killing me. Also, I should let you all know that we are experiencing some pretty heavy rain today. So if for some reason my stream just suddenly ends, it's because the rain knocked out my internet. Don't be alarmed. Save those things there real quick, and then we should be good to go. Okay. Okay. I was expecting to be able to turn the stream on and then wait about 30 minutes before we actually had to go in here and pick a server. And we may actually... Hey, what's up, Spud? Let's go indeed. Let's go indeed. So it looks like they opened up the sign-ups early. I don't even know what's going on. I thought I was going to be able to get like a half hour where it was just going to be me kind of vamping and waiting for people to come, but Prismverse Clash looks like it's already available to be signed up for, which is interesting. Good to you as well, Khaleesi. Good to you as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to... Good morning. I think we're going to try and get onto our normal character here and just see if anything has changed so that we can get on there. We've got plenty of time to actually get into the scenario. It looks like all of them are still really open. So I don't think we're going to have an issue actually signing up. Thankfully, since we're on the North American servers, everybody's at work right now, so we're good. So let's take a little peekaboo here. Let's see. Next phase coming soon. No, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to sign up and leave this phase early. Or this season early, to sign up for a new scenario. So this says 3 days and 23 hours. So exactly 1 day after I go into phase 6, and then you have to be in phase 6 for 12 hours. At least that's what happened last time, before you can leave. So we're going to be 36 hours late with this character. But there still might be an opportunity. There still might be an opportunity to get this character into the scenario that I want. because I could, whoops, get back on a black screen. I accidentally exited the game instead of relogging and getting on my other character. Because I'm a dum-dum. I'm a dum-dum. 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 Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. How is everybody's morning so far? I'm in a stupid good mood. I'm really excited about this Prismverse Clash. I'm also really excited while I was making the video late last night to put out about core bases for the Prismverse Clash, where you're going to be doing your securement for your prism deviations. I discovered that the prints that you can put on ceilings, you can also put a bunch of them on the foundations. So the way I'm going to structure the base is it's going to just be a catacomb or a honeycomb of those triangle foundations like we put around the fob base. And then periodically we're going to sink one of them to the floor, and we're just going to put a securement unit in there. What are you going to be doing while you wait for the PvP season? Okay, so we go back to the old survival hermit here, and we sign up for a new scenario. So let's take a look at what these scenarios are going to be able to do for us. So, fight and capture prism energy for your faction. Featured game mode, battle for prism deviation, scenario features, fight and capture prism. Oh, I already read that. The eastern part of the Nalcott continent. I love how they are kind of telling you. So we're going to see, I can't wait until we have other maps, so it's not always the Nalcott continent. That's going to be so great. Butterfly's Emissary, Festering Shell, Electric Eel, Frog, Disco, Gingerbread House, Pup Buddy, Fetch a Lot. Ooh, okay, so, no, sorry. For a second, I forgot that this was going to be a PvP. But yeah, we get the Pup Buddy, Fetch a Lot Bunny, Logging Beaver, Digby Boy, Harvest Seed. Mr. Wish is going to be in there. That's great. Running Alpha and Theta silos to hunt for the elusive metal shelves. Yeah, you have fun with that, Khaleesi. You have fun with that. Hug in a Bowl, Grumpy Bulbs, Dream Catchers, Chephosaurus, Pyrodino, H37, Dr. Teddy. I'm really glad that I'm going to get another chance to get the Dr. Teddy and the Mr. Wish. Very, very happy about that. Polar Jelly, Atomic Lighter, Space Turner, Rebecca, Change Door. That's great. So we kind of feel pretty confident that Leah Labs is going to be in this season as well, because we have Rebecca here, which is cool. Rain Man, Extra Dimensional Cats, Artisan's Touch, the Masonic Pyramid. I wonder how we're going to get the Masonic Pyramid, because last time you got it from actually doing the wars, but there aren't going to be any wars this time. So I wonder what the mechanism is going to be for getting the Masonic Pyramid. Looks like we're also getting the Upper World Spawn. That's another one of the war deviations. And then now we get down to the new ones, the Azure Dragon and the Radiant one. So can participate in combat to continuously increase the character's actions or create an anti-gravity tower. A rare prism deviation field with immense prism energy. Okay. My teammate got the metal shelf and he wasn't even looking for it. What a bum. What a bum. And then the Azure Dragon works within the territory to help produce food. A rare prism deviation filled with immense prism energy. Okay. So these are the Chephosaurus Rex and the By the Wind are what these are, with like a little extra something, you know? That's kind of cool. That's really cool. So just these two new, and these are strictly going to be Prism versions, I think, because both of them say a rare Prism deviation filled with immense Prism energy. Let's see. So I know also that the Digby Boy was going to be one of them. Let's actually go to the Digby Boy and see. Okay, no, he doesn't have a rare Prism deviation tag. So we can be pretty confident that these are not going to be in there. So let's go to the season sign up and let's take a look at what some of this information says here. So it says join a faction and compete for Prism deviations in combat zones. To capture Prism deviations, you can complete public crisis events, guaranteed. That's going to really draw a lot of people to fight over crisis events. That's crazy. Explore in the wilderness, low chance, or go fishing, also low chance. So the eel is going to be one of them. The Lucky Sob, I've played all the betas and played since launch, and I've never found... Wow. Oh my goodness. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm a dumb. Okay, well, let's go all the way back to this. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you letting me know. So it looks like all of the Prism versus Clash deviations are going to be the same. Good morning, Charles. How are you today? How are you today? I think I got some sort of weird latency on the chat there for a minute, too. But it is going to be important to note that you can get the Dr. Teddy, the Pup Buddy, and the Mr. Wish, and the Masonic Pyramid, and the Upper World Spawn are all going to be available in this PvP season, so fantastic for people who haven't gotten those, but these are the two that are new here. It looks like a Shephosaurus Rex wearing like some sort of jacket or something. And then we have a By the Wind, which is the Radiant one, that also looks a little bit different. So both of these are going to be really, really cool, and I'm very excited about that. But other than that, we're getting all the same deviations. It doesn't say whether or not they're going to be shiny deviations, but maybe that'll be in this information here. So now let's take a look at just our faction information here. So join a faction, compete for Prism deviations. You can go fishing, you can explore the wilderness, or you can do a public crisis event. Like I said, this is going to bring a ton of people together to fight. You can search for Prism deviations via the map using the Prism Energy feature and contain them in secure units in combat zones. Securing Prism deviations awards you with Prism Energy. The amount varies depending on the deviation levels. The side with the most Prism Energy wins. Faction reward at the end of each stage. You can earn faction fireworks based on your rankings and unlock faction crates. Contain Prism deviations to gather Prism Energy and earn Starchrums. Chance to obtain rare faction avatar sets in the final stage. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry for you, Charles, that you can't get anything but energy links and Stardust Source for your metal shelves. You have metal shelves. Go piss off. Julianne McClary, Shephosaurus Rex is awesome. Yeah, and we get a new Shephosaurus Rex. That's great. Sign up ends in 12 days. Okay. I really expected to get more information from this. They're not telling us anything about the Wish Machine like they did last time. They're not telling us anything about anything, really. So let's see. Is there any additional information here? Signed up, available in 2 days, 9 hours, and 20 minutes. 2 days, 9 hours, and 20 minutes. That means it's actually opening for us on the 25th. Wow, so that's coming much sooner than I thought. So do we want to go into X0001, X0002, or X0003? There doesn't look to be a hard mode. There just looks to be the standard modes here. Technically, between my wife and I, we have 4 sets of metal shelves. I really... I mean, I don't actually go after formulas very much, and don't much care about that, but that's some really good luck. Like a lot of good luck, Charles. Unless you all are just constantly running formula runs. That's pretty insane luck. Okay, well, let's hit this sign up. Let's register. Server sign up is not available on the login. Wait, on the login screen. Please go to Eternaland to sign up. Okay. Okay. Go into Survival Hermit, confirm. Enter Eternaland. I agree. Not sure why I have to go to Eternaland to do this, but F it, let's do it. Metahuman backed. Oh, Galen killed me. What a butthead. What a butthead. Okay. Let's go to the new scenario. Oh, not Evolution's Call. Oh, and the Way of Winter isn't there. Okay. So you can't actually sign up yet. So we do still have the extra 45 minutes or whatever that I thought we were going to have. So not until 20 minutes from now are we likely going to be able to sign up. Which is good, because that's actually when people will think that they can be here to be watching the sign up. So for those of you who have already seen it, we are going to be going back over that information. Just because we want to make sure that everybody who comes into the channel sees all of the different stuff that's going to be available. Which means we also may get an opportunity still. We'll check with our main character and see, because things aren't open here yet, they may give us the ability to do that. We would only be leaving about 2 days early. So I think that's at least in the realm of possibility. And I would very much like that, because I really want to use my main character, because this character, I don't even think has... Nope, doesn't even have the Black Panther. Or really any guns. So... I'd be in a pretty bad spot. I literally just made this character, leveled it up to 20, then didn't do anything else. So we will end up having a pretty bad day. If I can't use my main character. Don't let the jealousy monster take you over, Khaleesi. So I do want to talk a little bit about, I mentioned just very, very briefly earlier that I found out that you can use prints. So what I think is going to be the best option for building your defensive base for your securement units is going to be to do that same honeycomb that we did with these, because you get that same effect where you still have to blow up 2 of them, right? And so I think you should cover the entire ground floor of your base this way. And then above that, you're just going to be putting walls and doors, because the doors have 800 hit points and the walls have 1,000. And that's just for the wooden walls. Obviously, the more highly upgraded walls have more and more. But the thing that I found that I think is super important about this is oh, I don't have any ceilings. Darn it. You can put wooden tri-ceilings. So if you take your foundation, right, and you connect it to one of these, you can just hold Alt and scroll down, and you can put it way down here. And then when you put a triangle foundation over the top of that, it lines up nice and flush, so you can't even tell that that's not another foundation, except that the triangle ceilings look different than the foundations. So then you go to your prints, and your wallpapers for your floors and your ceilings are the same. And there's a really good one. I think it's this one. Yeah, I think it's this one. Looks really, really good. Or maybe it's this one. Dark brown painted. No, this is definitely it. Dark brown painted plank. Looks really, really good and makes them all look the same. And then, so then your floors and your ceilings look identical, and you can't tell the difference. So you can have your securement units kind of sprinkled around your core base inside of these little weird cubby holes. And then you just plaster right over the top of them with a ceiling and put that print on there. And so they don't know exactly what it is they need to destroy. And then just randomly throughout your honeycomb, you can drop like shotgun turrets and just nuke people down with shotgun turrets. Just boop, put a shotgun turret right there. And then somebody opens the door, just plow, they get blasted. It'll be hilarious. It'll be hilarious. Yeah, Darkling, the signups are going on in 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes. 13 minutes until the signups for next season happen. So I had to get on and get signed up. Yeah. Gots to do it. Gots to do it. Big yawn, but it is not without its difficulties. I am tired. I was up until almost 4 o'clock last night. And then I woke up at 9. I got about 5 hours of sleep. We're good though. We'll make it. We'll get through this. I don't know what we're going to do after we sign up. We might even go so far as to play another game. That's not true. I won't do that because I want people who come in later to be able to ask questions about the signups and for me to be able to be here and tell them. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Looked up the time wrong then. I thought it was midday my time. It might be midday your time. They were different for each one. Right, but it's different for each time zone. So yeah, T-Train, that is correct. It does start in 10 minutes. But let me go and see when this sign up stuff happened. Logging in to check, but I'm making din-dins, so we'll be in and out. Okay, yeah, absolutely. No, it should be opening in 10 minutes. Was it in patch notes or game news where they put that information out? It was in patch notes. Here we go. So you're playing. What servers are you playing on, Darkling? Are you playing on Southeast Asia? Or. Yeah, I'm gonna log in and do this. Pump for these upcoming seasons. T-Train, I think this season is going to be. Oh, okay. Cool, cool. Cool, 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 cool. We're both gonna be one on super, super new characters then. That'll be great. That will be great. Yeah, I don't have any blueprints either on this character. Ain't got none. Not a single one. Not even the Black Panther that I want to use. So we'll both be in the same boat. We'll just rush to level 50 and then we'll go do all the cities and get all of our blueprints. And I think there's going to be a lot of players who are on fairly new characters. A bunch of people went into servers like super late, like week 5 of servers, and ran around and got their characters up to level 50 and picked up all the blueprints and stuff like that. So they have at least one set of blueprints and, the starkroom of at least part of a server, so they could buy a build. So we'll be competing with those people. But most everyone who's going to be in has either only gotten through one season and then didn't do season 2, or they had to make new characters and try and finagle something out of the end of the last season. So everybody should be on a pretty even playing field. It won't be great for us, but we should be fine. Not terribly worried about it. I wonder if this character has any Starkroom. Yeah, I've never even opened the wish machine before, apparently. Oh yeah, so I've got 1900 Starkroom. Fantastic. What does it cost for me to 2000? Oh yeah. Oh, that's the Gulped Lore. Can I not buy? And that's unfortunate. I might end up playing with the Gulped Lore then. Absolutely, T-Train. It's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. And because the Prismverse Clash is going to be so much fun, I'm going to try and take my other character, Darkling, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to. Because my other character doesn't get into Phase 6 until 2 days after this season starts. So it just may not be possible. I'm going to try and send myself an invite code and see if that'll work, but may not. And actually, I kind of want to switch. Let's go switch characters real quick. Oh, it says new. Okay, so they did change. So they have opened it a couple minutes early here. Okay. What the heck? These are not the same servers. Capacity limited, difficulty hard. Oh, this is Evolution's call. Never mind. Back. They aren't open yet. Never mind. I'm confusing myself. I want to actually leave. Going to exit game. We're going to relog in. And we're going to go ahead and switch over to our main character. Because I just want to see when all of this opens. Is it going to allow these characters to go ahead and sign up? Because there is still at least a small possibility of that. And so we're just going to check it real quick at the mark here. See what happens. I mean, they made it so that you could make characters fat. Why would I not name the character that? I thought it was a pretty clever name. It just popped in there. But this is what I was talking about. So if you look, this is a ceiling. So I can destroy that. And so there's a hole here. And this is where I'm going to put my securement units. And you've got all of these foundations. But if you put... So if I put this ceiling back, and then I go in here to prints, I can use this same dark brown painted on here. And now you can't tell which one is a ceiling and which one is a foundation. So this is how I'm going to do my core base. That is rude. That is extremely rude. So you're sort of forcing people to blow up your foundations here this way, which is going to use up a ton of their resources and a ton of time, because going through the walls and going through your doors is going to be much easier, but they can't figure out which one to attack. So they're not going to know, which is going to be super duper cool. Just a couple more minutes here before we see whether or not I can actually sign up with this character. We are going to take our time on the sign up because we've got a lot more people here now than we did earlier. So we're going to, go through and read everything again and all that stuff so that everybody gets an opportunity to see what's going on with the new season. We are getting pretty much all the same deviations. Yeah, neither is mine, Darkling. Anybody who was in the first server for the very first season and who went into one of the first servers for the second season is going to be like 2.5 days late trying to come in to Prismverse Clash. So we're going to have an interesting time. Yeah, because this still is 3 days and 23 hours. And when we were looking earlier, it said that Prismverse Clash was starting in 2 days and 9 hours, which I thought was pretty insane. I thought it wasn't starting until the 26th, but it might be late on the 25th for me and the 26th for other people. But I'm not entirely sure about that. Are we... Nope, still got a little less than a minute here. Still got a little less than a minute. And we're going to be jumping right in. Yo, my allergies are freaking the heck out right now. I don't even know what to do. But I am losing my mind. Okay. That should be it right here. Honestly, Fluffy, I think that might be my fault because I've been having them start on private. I need to set them up to public originally. So it doesn't look like it's going to give us the opportunity to sign up on our main character here, which is unfortunate. So let's go ahead and exit. Go to relog in. Don't hit exit the game again. And then we're going to go back over here. We're going to click our survival hermit. We're going to enter Eternal Land because that's where it says we have to sign up from. But welcome, Fluffy. How are you? My allergies are busted too. I sound like an old diesel truck trying to... Yeah, that's exactly how I feel right now. I feel so jacked up. Okay. So here we are in our Eternal Land. Let's take a look at... Hey, alright. Prismverse Clash is up. And we've got 3 servers available here. Sign up ends in 12 days. So we already kind of looked at these scenario features, but let's just take a look again. There isn't very much information here. We do have all of the same. It looks like we have all of the same deviations. We are still getting Mr. Wish and also Dr. Teddy are going to be in this PvP season. So that's great. We're not getting any of the PvE specific deviations. We are getting Rebecca, which tells me that there's probably going to be a Leah Labs in this, because that's always where you get Rebecca from, unless they change the way you get Rebecca, which is a possibility, but I think it's safe to assume there is going to be a Leah Labs. You still have your Masonic Pyramid, and the other one, the Upper World Spawn. These were things that you got from the wars, I believe. And so I didn't get them last season. What are the reasons for doing what? The deviations? But you get these upper world spawns in the Masonic Pyramid. I don't know how they're going to give these out because you don't have the wars like you did last time. But that'll be interesting to see. And then you have your 2 new deviations, the Radiant one and the Azure Dragon. This is just a Prism version of the Shephosaurus Rex. And this is a Prism version of the By the Wind. I don't think we have that information, Fluffy. So last time we got to see a lot more information about the thing than we do right now. We're not seeing any information about what weapons are going to be available. There doesn't look to be any super anomalies in this one. And we don't have hard mode versions of the servers. We just have these regular versions of the servers. So I really don't know what's up. But you see here, you join a faction and compete for Prism Deviations in combat zones. To capture Prism Deviations, you can complete public crisis events, guaranteed. You can explore in the wilderness, you get a low chance, and you can go fishing, which is also a low chance, and that's that electric eel is available as a Prism Deviation. That one's honestly pretty important because I think the best place to build your core base is going to be on that island. So you'll be able to just fish and secure and fish and secure and fish and secure forever out there early on. I think that's going to be a great way to score a whole lot of points. You can search for Prism Deviations via the map using the Prism Energy feature and contain them in secure units in combat zones. Securing Prism Deviations awards you with Prism Energy, and the amount varies depending on the deviation levels. The side with the most Prism Energy wins. Now, I don't know if they mean the level of the deviation, like its skill level, or if they mean the rarity of the deviation, because they did say they're going to get different rarities, right? There are 3 rarity tiers for the Prism deviations. If you get extras of those deviations, I call dibs on trading or buying them off you. Khaleesi, if I get extra, all of those are the Prism deviations, are all going to get put in securement units. And I don't know if they're actually going to still exist after they get secured. They may, but I'm not 100% sure on that. If I can give them out or trade them, though, I will absolutely hit you up first. A faction reward at the end of each stage, you can earn faction fireworks based on your rankings and unlock faction crates. Contain prism deviations to gather prism energy and earn starcrums. Chance to obtain a rare faction avatar set in the final stage. So that'll be cool. And I think those are just a cosmetic set. So I guess Fluffy, that's why. The cosmetic set is probably the primary draw of playing Prism versus Clash scenario. So I think we just go into X0001, right? That seems like the right thing to do. That'll be the most competitive server, so I can get my butt kicked. That's the server that's least likely to probably peter out. Definitely, that's definitely where we want to sign up. So let's register. So we're registered. Now, last time when I registered, I was able to start sending out invitations. Oh, here we go, invitations. Received invite. Starting soon. Send invitation. Friends list. Server friends. Okay, here we go. Here we go. First, I definitely want to get this character an invite and see if it's going to be able to join. Khaleesi, you said you're not... Khaleesi, you said you're not going to play the PvP, is that correct? Or do you want to play the PvP and I can shoot you an invite real quick? If you are not currently in a scenario, oh, Darkling, you're in a brand new server on that character, aren't you? When does that server that you're on end? Well, so first things first, let me send an invite to myself. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure because I wanted to send you an invite if you wanted one. I sent an invite to myself and I'm going to relog. Four days, 22 hours left to phase 5. Okay. Okay. So you'll be a couple of days late coming into the scenario. Or you can make a new... No, I absolutely can. Or you could make a new character and just join with a new character. Because that would kind of put you in the same position. But then also it would suck up another one of your character slots. Since your character already doesn't have any blueprints. Okay, so I sent myself that invite. Do I have any way to access that invite right now? Negative. Okay. So there is definitely no way to exit a scenario early. You try to do that. So let's go back here. Let's go back to this. Nope, not what I wanted. Going back to Eternaland. But yeah, so anybody who doesn't have a character that's currently in a season who wants to come to the same server, we're going to be playing on P-Clash X0001 because I'm an insane person, so why not? Now, when I signed up before, it gave me some information about when things were going to happen, and it said 2 days and 9 hours. It is actually saying 2 days and 23 hours now, or 24 hours. So it is going to be on the 26th at the same 8 o'clock Pacific time. That this is going to be opening up. I really wish that we had some more information about what was going to be on the Wish Machine and stuff like that. But whatever's clever, I guess. So let's go back to invitations. Now, for those of you who are not currently able to join servers, I do want to invite you all to this server. This is a different character, so if you're my friend on my main character, you're probably not my friend on Survival Hermit here. So anybody who's in the chat right now who wants to join the same server, let me know, and I will get you an invite here real quick. If it becomes absolutely necessary, just because of the way they set this up, and because it's such an obnoxious pain in the butt, I am more than happy to make more characters and then sign them up for this scenario and then use them to invite. But I want to do that with as few characters as possible. So instead of saying, okay, everybody just go sign up with a brand new character for X0001 and then send yourself an invite, I'll just make some characters and send people out invites. So that way we clutter the server less with unused characters, but we still get to try and get our main characters in there. So the thing is that I'm not entirely positive that getting that invite is going to reserve you a spot. I signed up on one, would love to run into you. Absolutely, T-Train. I am going to be running a hive. We are going to be playing Mayfly, me and my hive. So anybody from the chat who wants to join the hive is absolutely welcome. If we end up with more... if we end up with more than a single hive worth of people, then we'll try and make a couple of hives, although I don't think that's probably going to be what happens. But T-Train, I actually think that solo on the faction war is going to be a pretty interesting and easy thing to do, because you're in a faction, and that faction can share stuff with you. So in the series that I'm putting out about the different types of bases that people can put out, it talks a lot about how you're going to have to work with your faction outside of just your hive to make that effective, and specifically talks about how you're going to need to utilize solos and small group players to your advantage. Because if you friend somebody, they automatically get access to your structures, which means they'll be able to use your securement units. So say I'm in a hive with 8 people, and J-Mac, what's up? My server ends in 9 days. I was in a PvE server. I think it's time to switch to PvP for this one. Absolutely. Absolutely, J-Mac. But like I was saying, T-Train, so you really need to use those solos, because if I'm in a hive with 8 people and all 8 of us go out and we get prism deviations to secure, that's still only 8 of the 20 securement units that my core base where we're doing securing can hold. So we still need 12 more prism deviations, and either we can risk each getting 2 to make it 16, and then half of us try and get 3 to get to that 20. Or we can make friends with 12 solo players or 12 small group players, and we can send them out and get them to get prism deviations too, and then all 20 of us come back and start securements all at the same time. And then we end up making more value out of our time, but also we've got 12 more people standing in our base helping us protect it while we do our securements. And so I think it's going to be really, really important to work together as a faction. So even if you prefer to play solo and you really want to do that, like I said, I'm happy to have you in the hive, but if that becomes something that you don't enjoy, if you don't like being in the hive, then just play solo and then come join us for securements. You can come join us for raids, right? We can give you permissions on the storages so that you can repair and make bullets and stuff like that with our resources. And that's going to be something I'm going to do with tons and tons of people in the faction, is just give everybody I can. Yeah. So all you have to do is, if you're a friend, you can use somebody else's securement units. And I tested it this season. So if I put my deviation in one of my friend's securement units, then that deviation is still my deviation. I own it, so I can sync to it. So when you put the prism deviations in other people's securement units to secure them, they're still going to belong to you. So you personally are going to get those points for your own personal score, but then we also get those points as a faction for winning the faction. So it's very, very important. And I think that's a really good setup, because if it wasn't set up that way, then you would have everybody trying to build their own bases and use their own bases to secure, and you would have people having to give up the ability to secure deviations and score points in order to make, more defenses for their core base and stuff like that. And it would end up being really, really bad, and solos wouldn't be able to succeed, and small groups wouldn't be able to succeed. You'd have to be in an 8-man hive, or you wouldn't be able to really do anything. And this way, solos and small groups are absolutely viable. And so I think it's going to be super, super great. I think it's going to be... This might be the best I've ever seen somebody set up a faction warfare system. The only problem that's going to happen is this is naturally going to cause factions to consolidate and build huge, sprawling bases that are extremely difficult to get into, and you're going to end up having huge wars that are maybe hundreds of people versus hundreds of people. And this game cannot handle that, and it's going to lag so freaking hard. Like, so freaking hard. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so if you're making a new character, sign up for PvP or P/Clash X0001 if you want to come to the same server as me. That's where we're going to be at. If your character is not yet out of your existing season and you want me to send you an invite, let me know and I will. I will make some additional characters to get some additional invites if I need to as well. And... oh, you know what? No, I should be able to do that with a new character. Never mind, that's fine. Yeah, so we'll make some additional characters if we need to get some more invites. And so here's the thing, though, is I'm not 100% sure that this is going to reserve your spot if I send you an invite. So it's possible that this will fill up to a point where even invites aren't possible anymore. And if that happens, and for some reason that invite doesn't secure your spot, so you end up not being able to get in when your season ends, you may still need to make a new character and join the server. Because, you want to make sure that you get in. So that actually might be... Gosh. Why is this so... Yeah, so honestly, probably the best policy is if you want to join the same server as me, the P/Clash X0001, I would just make a new character if you're not going to be out of your season in time. And I would go ahead and sign up on that new character and then invite your existing character. And then if you can, you get to bring that existing character in. And if you can't, then, we'll just play on new characters. because it honestly just doesn't look like there's no way to guarantee that those invitations are actually going to do anything. Morton May, hey, what's up? Yeah, we're going to be on P Clash X 0001 on the NA server. Is where we're going to be. Good to see you. Been a little while. But it looks like because of the way they set it up, we're going to have to make new characters to do it, which is pretty disappointing. I really like you've set up this wonderful system all the way up to this point where I've just been able to move right into the new content and stuff right as I was getting out of my old season. And now you're setting it up where my character is literally going to be like a day and a half late to this season. You couldn't have pushed this a day and a half? Really? Like, can we not? I'm really kind of annoyed about it. Hey, what's up, Lothar? Hey, been a while since I've seen you too. Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you doing? How are you doing? I'm also pretty disappointed with the amount of information that we're getting here. Really don't feel like there's nearly as much information about this season as there was about the last one. I don't know, did I miss something somewhere? Is there another button to point or another button to click somewhere? I feel like I had to have missed some information. Doing okay, my server's only in phase 4, so I'm eagerly waiting some streaming of Prismverse. Excellent. Well, I will be doing it. We'll be getting after it. But it looks like I am going to have to get after it on a new character. So this character doesn't have any blueprints at all. So my dumb ass, and I should have done like Dead October did, and just made a new character and gone through and gotten all my blueprints and my my blueprints and my star chrome and stuff like that. That was definitely the right move. But I just really didn't want to do that. Because I was still kind of holding out hope that they were going to give me the ability to use my primary character. I think you're not going to be alone in the alt character. No, I think you're right, Lothar, because of the way they set it up. And again, the only people who really care about being in the first servers are the people who are already in the first servers. Everybody else is usually more than happy to wait because they waited anyway, right? They want bugs to get fixed. They want, things to get worked out. They want strategies to come available, and all of that stuff. And so those individuals are happily going to wait for, a week or whatever after to sign up for their servers. So why would you set it up so that the only people who are going to be able to join with their mains are the people who skipped Season 2? It was such a weird... It was such a weird way to set things up. And especially because you have no ability to share progress on your alts. Like, if I could create an alt and that alt had access to all of my blueprints, then I'd be totally down. And that definitely needs to be a thing that they do. You definitely need to have account-wide progression, because you definitely need to be able to have alts exactly for situations like this, right? So they're not stuck to a single cycle in order to drop new content. They could drop new content anytime they wanted to, and then I could just make an alt and go run. You know, I could be running a 3-week Prismverse Clash season while I'm also running a PvE season, and be doing that on 2 separate characters. You know, they're talking about maybe having permanent seasons in the future. Well, if I join a permanent season, then there are things that I'm never going to be able to get, right? And there's scenarios that I'm never really going to be able to interact with because my character is trapped on this permanent season. So if you have account-wide progression, then okay, you've got a short season coming out, like a 3-week Prismverse Clash. Cool, I'll just go ahead and sign up for that on an alt, have all my blueprints, go over there, do that, and then come back to my primary season. But I don't know. I don't really know what the plan and what the deal is with that stuff. But we'll see. Hopefully in the future there's some changes made to things. I love that you make ripples in the water. Hey, what's up, Bubba Fetta? What is up? Do alt stuff go to the same Eternal? No, they all have their own Eternal lands and everything. They are completely separate characters. They might as well be different accounts. You can even take and invite. You can invite characters to the same season. And you can join the same season with multiple characters on the same account. So I really don't, like, I don't know what's going on at all. I'll be on later today for the new PvP, so not too bad. I assume I can't get on a server on Friday. Yeah, I'm sure that there will be more servers that are opening up for Friday. I'm sure that's possible. Sure, that's possible. Now I don't even know what to do with myself. I do know what to do with myself. Let's go. Let's go see about moving our base again. The reason I want to move our base again is so when we get into PvE or the P Clash X111, when we get into the season, this is where, if for those of you who want to be in my hive, we're taking over this island on one of the worlds, and we're going to do it on the very first day because this island is in the first contest zone. And so it is the single most defensible spot on the entire map. And that's where I want to put our core base, waiting for variant PvE/PvP deviants. What do you mean variant PvE and PvP deviants? Do you mean the shinies? Or do you mean, oh, you want shinies of the exclusives? Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I just want any shinies of any kind. I don't even care. Please let me spawn my motorcycle. Game, I freaking hate you. Got my blue gel today. All server season 5 rewards gotten. Purification done. So just hunting for formulas now. Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same spot. I guess I still need my blue. Actually, let's go do that real quick. I still need my blue mushroom. I still gotta go farm mushrooms. Because this game freaking hates me. Oh, also, I should probably switch out of my Tier 1 gear into my actual PvP gear. Or season gear. I was trying to reload before I pulled out my... Use the mutation booster on your farm plots that grow. I got 8 of them. Yeah, so I've got a ton of grow shrooms that I've pulled from my base, but none of them have been the blue shroom. I've gotten... Check this out. I've gotten so many of these. I even sold a whole bunch of them. But I had like 9 of these. And I just haven't gotten a blue one yet. Don't know why. It's so rare for me. And that I can't get it, but I just cannot get the blue shroom. It's kind of driving me crazy. Yeah. I don't know what to do about it. Don't know what to do about it. These deers look like zebras. So we're going to go ahead and get our... We're going to try and get our mushroom here real quick. And then we're actually going to go ahead and go over to that island and start scouting and looking where we're going to put our core base. And exactly how we're going to do that. Because that spot is just too good, I think. Because... Just a regular mushroom. Bummer. But that's okay. Be alright. Take me down to that point right there. Because the big thing here is because when you die in PvP, you don't get a death timer. At least I don't think you get a death timer. So the best way to defend your base is to sort of artificially create a death timer for your opponents. And the way you do that is you force distance between where they're attacking you and where they can place their base. And the greatest distance you can create right now... Have you picked what build you're using in the new season? Yeah, I'm going to be using the Black Panther sniper rifle T-Train. And I'm going to set up for one-shot kills. Because most people, you know, they're going to be running like chloro armor. They're going to be running maybe the savior set and stuff like that. So I'm going to be looking to do like one-shot headshot KOs to sort of circumvent some of the defenses that people are going to be using. Yo, what's up, Night Gross? How are you today? How are you today? You ready to rock and roll for that new season? Yeah, but if you look, so this is where I think you want to set your base up, right? Way out there on that island. Because this place or this place is going to be the closest you could possibly put your fob to go and attack. So you don't even really... Yeah, just busy finding good trade deviants. Yeah, yeah. That's definitely... especially finding a good PvP deviant. Got a 5/5 feeling blue, 1 black hole. Ooh, dang. That's a good one. Especially for the PvP, a good deviation is going to be really, really important. What's up, Mother Sorrows? How are you today? But yeah, so this is going to be like as close as you can get to build a fob. And you can create even more distance if you get a lot of people. I mean, you're going to be able to put maybe 20 or 30 bases over on that island. But then if you get even more people, well, maybe not that many. But if you get even more people, then you're going to be able to, you know, line this coast with bases and force them even to fight you out here. Not sure what the new equipment they place in the build menu is for. What new equipment in the build menu? New facilities? Outdoor facility. I feel like these were all here already. This is so you can take over... Yeah, so this right here, the security unit, is so you can take over the oil rigs in the PvP season. And I honestly don't know what the rest of these things... The Staroid Restrainers, I guess, are for the PvP also. Right? Isn't this what you have to use for... The Hive Beacon itself is new, though. It's giant as fuck tower thing that we can't do anything with. I'm pretty sure I've seen this before. I'm like 90% sure I've seen this before. Pretty sure this was here last season. The securing prism deviants is going to happen in securement units. Lothar. But let's go over to this island here. Also, Flyby Guy, nice to see a new name in the chat. Welcome to the chat, welcome to the channel. How are you? It was there, but you still couldn't do anything with it. Yeah. I remember seeing it a long time ago, and I just kind of stopped giving a crap because I didn't know what to do. I meant new as in they added it, but we can't do anything. Yeah. Got it. You go into the new PvP season, Flyby? The way I read it, someone's gonna need a house you can transplant into PvP for securement. So Lothar, I think it's actually gonna be really, really important that you never, that your securement base never leaves the conflict zone. Because you are right. Well, Flyby, we just signed up for the P-Clash X0001 on an alt character because I want to be on one of the first servers. So you are welcome to come and join us. My goal is to take over this entire island right here. So we're trying to get as many people as we possibly can. But the reason I want to take over this island is because if you look at how far away it is from everything, every time you kill somebody, even if they've got... Right, so if you fill this whole island with bases, nobody else can build here. And so you're going to want to stay, you're going to want to keep your base out here all the time, because if you move your base, then you run the risk of somebody being able to come and place a base here, and then you not being able to own this whole island. But if you take over the entirety of the island, so nobody else can base here, then every time you kill one of the enemies, they have to respawn, at the very least, as far away as one of these two locations. Which means they have at least a 30-second swim to get back to you. So you're creating an automatic respawn timer every time you kill them by making them go so far away. So this is why also, Lothar, I don't think you ever want to move your base away from here, because you're going to be building your core base in a defensible position like this which is going to mean very specific terrain requirements. So your base isn't necessarily going to be something that is going to be able to be moved, because you may not be able to move it. So it's going to be important that you leave it where it is, because getting it back into exactly the same position might not be possible. But if you look, I mean, this has got so many just sheer cliffs that it's really, really difficult even to get up here, because there's only a couple of places that you can actually get up. And so you'll have people built all the way down here, right? You'll have bases ringing this entire island and just taking up all the available space here. There's base after base after base, making sure that nobody else can build a base here. Yeah, just my tinfoil hat on. So I have one hive member who gets the ultra defensive house. Yeah. Well, and that's what you're going to want. So you're going to want one hive member who's got a really good defense base. And that base is going to be what's called your core base. And then all of the other bases around the core base is that. So everything else around your core base is going to be a wall base. And they're just going to build walls around that. And so all of you are going to secure your deviations in the same base. You're all going to use that same core base as your securement base. Bubba Fett, one thing they didn't explain very well was the fact that teleportation towers are removed. So how the hell do we get around the map? You don't get around the map quickly, Bubba. And that's why you need a fob base, right? So you're going to have a base that's going to be a fob that's going to stay in your safety area, in your safe zone. And that fob is going to be owned by one of your players who's going to do a lot of scouting. And so everybody on your team is going to need a space turner, right? Because you're going to need space turners on you, because that's how you're going to move quickly around the map, is if somebody's in a bad situation or something like that, you space turner people over. And then you've got, a team of 4. So if you're an 8-man hive, you should always be teamed up. You never want to be running around on your own. If there are other people in your hive, even if you're running around on your own, you need to be in a team so that you can quickly space turner your hive mates to important situations, like placing down a fob to try and stop somebody from securing prism deviations, or if you see a pack of 2 or 3 people trying to get prism deviations or doing a crisis event or something like that, you want to space turner people over and get them to help you out. So space turners are going to be huge. Like you might need 10 or 12 space turners for your base so that you have enough of those resources to have enough space turners, because you're just going to be chewing through space turners like all day, every day. And so your fob base is going to be your base where everybody can get teleported to and do all of your attacking, because there's not going to be teleportation towers. At least I don't think there's going to be teleportation towers if all you do is put your campsite down. Then eventually you run out of durability and you have to go all the way back to wherever your base is. And then it could take you, to get all the way across this map to do all of that stuff, it could take you a half hour to get back to where you're trying to go. So if it takes you a half hour to get back to where you're trying to go, then, some of the securements only take a half hour. So as soon as you lose all of your durability, you've lost the fight. They win. You have to go away. You can't do anything to them. They just sit there and finger pop their buttholes until they get their securement done. So you absolutely need a fob, because you need a mobile place to be able to repair. I also think that you should build a truck that has a repair station and a bullet making station and some storage, because when you're doing stuff out in the open world, right, your truck is a mobile respawn station. Both of your vehicles are. So if you get in a convoy, right, maybe you've got 2 or 3 friends with you and you all bring your trucks, so you always have your mobile respawn station, and you drive around and you pick up prism deviations and stuff like that, but you also have a little bit of defense because you're going to have a couple of turrets on your truck. And I think that's going to be really, really common. I think there's going to be people just driving around in trucks out here, which means you're going to get to maybe have like some truck wars. And what I mean by truck wars is like you put a Gatling cannon on the back of a truck and somebody gets some biomissiles and starts shooting them at somebody else's truck while you're driving down the road, Mad Max style, right? And you're just going to be chasing people with your truck, trying to shoot them. Because why the heck not, right? There's going to be so many interesting things to do in this game for this season. It's going to be really, really fun. Might just become the group cook. Bubba, every group is going to need a cook. Every group is going to need a home base in the safe zone. Because when you're out here in the contest area, your base can be attacked all the time. It's not just when you're securing prism deviations. You're always going to be able to have your base attacked. So you're going to take over this island, right? And because this island is such a good fortified position, people are going to be attacking the island all the time because they're going to want to break some of those defenses before you put things in your securement unit so that then they have an easier time trying to stop you. So you're going to get attacked pretty much always here, I think, by huge numbers of people. And so, me too, T-Train, I'm so fucking pumped. Like, so pumped. It's going to be so much fun. Like, the most fun I've had in a video game since Dark Age of Camelot kind of fun. And so, you're constantly going to be getting attacked here, but because of that, you're not going to be able to grow crops. You're not going to be able to raise animals or anything like that. So you're going to have a home base where somebody's going to be raising animals and growing crops and doing all that stuff because your animals are going to get killed, right? You're going to have wolves down here that are protecting all of these bases. Everybody's going to have at least 6 bases. But are you going to be I'm going to be Mayfly. Absolutely. Because I would imagine you'd want to be Mayfly considering the other island next door is part of... Yeah. I'm going to be Mayfly. I would be Mayfly either way, though, because... So there's going to be 10 worlds on these servers, just like there are 10 worlds on your normal servers. So there's 10 versions of this island. So there's more than enough for even some Rosetta people to come down here and take that over for securement. Now, that's not ideal. But Rosetta actually have a really, really good spot, too. So... right here is Blackfell. Blackfell is inside of the safety zone. But the safety zone cuts off like right along this road right here. And this spot right here is another sheer cliff up to the top of this mountain. So you could build right up here and it's less base space available. Obviously, you could probably only get about 10 or 12 bases up here. But you could easily put a really, really defensible spot right here, too. And again, it's right next to the safe zone. And then there is just a huge sheer cliff to get up here. There is no easy way up to the top of this at all. And so this is a really, really great spot to base if you're Rosetta. There's also a couple of good spots. This peak up here. So these 2 peaks are going to be inside the game. And the area actually cuts off, like right here. So you're going to be able to build up here also as a Rosetta. Server 3, anyone who is a day 1 player is going there. It starts on the 29th, not the 26th. Oh, really? What are you going to... I didn't even look at that. Let me get out. Let me relog in. Let's cancel. Let's go back to Survival Hermit. I need to look at this. I'm still going to make a new character and go to the first server. X03, okay. Oh, okay. Well, let's unregister. Oh, okay, so sign up ends 3 days later. And if we sign up, opening time, okay, yeah, the 29th. What about the 26th? Okay. 29th at 8 a.m. Hey, Darkling, what's up? Glad your internet came back. Server 1 and 2 start on the 26th, server 3 on the 29th. So I wish, but why are they doing that? Because I can't register on my main character for this season right here. So what's even the point in putting out a server that's going to open on the 29th before I can even register for it? That's the most insane thing I've ever seen in my entire life. This whole release could have just been pushed back 3 days. Or 4 days, or whatever. And it should have just been like the hard mode, where as soon as the day one servers were ending, the new stuff was coming out. This is just insane. I don't even understand. So I'm going to stay signed up for this one on my alt. And I'm going to play my alt. And I sent myself an invitation. And I think that's what anybody else who wants to play on the X0001 server, I think you need to make a new character. Or if you already have an alt character, and sign up. And then send yourself an invitation. And see if that invitation reserves you a spot. And I have a couple invitations left. Darkling, do you still want me to send you one? Or were you going to make a new character so you can be there day one? Okay, I will send you one. Because I'm not entirely sure that's actually going to reserve your spot. So it's possible that this will get to completely maxed out. And then it's still not going to let you join. I don't know. So Phase 6 isn't even over until the 30th, so I'm out of all those servers. Yeah, well, and that's exactly what's happening to a ton of people, Gemini. And like, I understand the desire to put content out as quickly as possible because gamers consume content at an obscene rate. But the people who want to be in the day one server are the people who are already in the day one servers. And you've created a situation where that is literally impossible. And so, I mean, I think that's going to cause some serious issues. The invite button isn't even there for you, Flyby? How is that? I mean, we can turn into friends right now. I'll send you an invite. That's another thing. If you've made a new character to try and join those servers and you can't invite yourself, let me know. I'll shoot you an invite. What's your in-game name, Flyby? Snoise 2, can you see what items were in the wish machine for Prism? But no, Snoise 2, I was actually really disappointed with that. For some reason, that information isn't there. But we can check out again, since there are some new people in the chat. Let's take a look again. This is all of the information that they gave us. And then when you go over to scenario features, you get to see the deviations. So we are getting all of the same deviations, including the PvP exclusive deviations. So you're going to have another chance at the Mr. Wish, and the Dr. Teddy if you didn't get them. Like, I haven't gotten them yet. Rebecca is still going to be here, so I assume that means that Leah Labs is still going to exist. You're also going to be able to get the Masonic Pyramid and the Upper World Spawn, which I don't know how you're going to get those because they were the War deviations before. But then you're also going to have the Radiant one and the Azure Dragon, which are the new Prism deviations that are going to be worth, I think, 200 and 400 points, respectively. So I'm not really sure. how that's going to work. But yeah, let's go over to invitations here. Let's, oh no, I gotta be a friend with Homeboy first. All right. Bingus. Demo. And that, invitations, cross server friends. Yeah, just let me know when you've accepted that invite and I'll shoot you, or accepted that friend request and I'll shoot you an invite. But again, I think it's, um, even if we're trying to bring our main characters in, it is going to be absolutely important that you make an alt and join the server with the alts, because we just can't guarantee that those invites are actually going to allow us to get our main characters in. And if they do, that's great. Then we'll have twice as many bases that we can build, which will be awesome. But if they don't, then we'll be pretty SOL. So sweet. Invitation, send invitation, cross server friends, Bingus Fox. It's an invitation. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm really confused by what's going on. But we're gonna make it. We're gonna be alright. And I think now I just want to start sort of mocking up what a good core base might be here. And trying to identify just sort of what the strat is. So oh, this island is not nearly as big as I thought it was. At least the top of this island isn't nearly as big. Altitude maxed, cannot rise. Okay, well this game really doesn't want me to be able to bring my base over here. But it looks like I may have to just destroy everything in order to do it, but for sure you can at least build a base over here. So that also could be a thing. You may not be able to build on the entirety of the island, and I'm not entirely sure. But what we're going to be looking at is you're going to want to try to create your core base in as much of the center as you possibly can, and then all the other bases will be outside of that. So you want to try and find like a really good flat spot, and you want to have it as centered as you possibly can. So you can have, should I be able to see it somewhere, or no, Fly Guy, you cannot see it right now. So I've invited myself, and until you can actually go to that sign up screen on your character, you cannot see it at all. So like I can't, like there's no sign up option for me here. You know what? Yeah. So these don't even, these aren't even showing up because they're not active yet. Yeah, so there's just nothing that you can even look at to see any of that. So until you can actually sign up on that character, you won't be able to see it. least I don't think so. Honestly, I've never used the invite system before. So, I don't really know how it works. I'm also kind of surprised that that server isn't already completely full. It's a really big shocker to me. But you're going to want as flat a spot as you can possibly get, because you're going to want to be making big area. And I think this is probably the best area right here, because I think you could pretty well fill this entire little spot with stuff. But where am I on the island? Is that pretty centered? I'm actually... So there's a fatter spot back here, which might end up being better. Just because it's fatter. Hey, Flyby, thanks for the follow over on Twitch. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Twitch is moving right along here. This whole channel is really growing really well. And I really appreciate everybody who supports the channel. I'm really enjoying making content and streaming and doing all of that. So I really appreciate it. Where is the best place to put the cores? Because of how big this area is, I feel like you want more than one core base. And so the best way to do that might be to hang part of each core base off of a side or something. So let's take a look at this area here. So if you quartered this area, right? You go into build mode, and a single base can take over pretty much the entirety of this flat area up here. But if you quartered it, where you just set it up so that each base only took up a quarter of the zone, and I'm not in a good spot where I can actually do that, so let's move over here. Really hard to see what I'm doing here, but if you set it up a little more like this so that it was quartered, and then you could have 4 bases up here on this area, and all 4 of those bases could work together. You could have 80 securement units, which means 80 people from your faction could come secure deviations at the same time. You also have the ability, if this is built out right, because you have so much space and so much stuff here. Ayub, what's up? Ayub, if you want to come join us for the PvP season, we signed up for Prism Clash X0001. So you are more than welcome to. You'll have to make a new character. And what I would recommend if you want to try and bring your main character in is to sign up with a new character and then send an invite to yourself on your main. Is probably the best way to get it done. Just to see if maybe your main will be able to get in a couple of days, but you may end up having to play the new character in order to actually play. But so like I was saying, when you take over this entire island, electric eels are prism deviations. So I don't know if you can get electric eels. Oh, you can get electric eels from the ocean. Actually, I do know that. Because we do it. Oh, well then you can't come and join us, so poo-poo on you. I decoy the top and overcap a bunch of securements along the cliff walls on the back of the island. Ooh, you could maybe, that's not a terrible idea. Yeah, so this is, I mean, we need to work this strategy out and figure out exactly what the best place to put securement units and stuff is, because this is definitely what we want to take over when we get in. But because you can get electric eels and they have prism versions, you could get your whole faction out here just fishing, farming eels, and then just taking them back up to the securement units and they only give you 40 points or whatever, and they take a half hour to secure. But I mean, could you imagine 100 people out here fishing, just bringing eels back up to the top over and over and over again? Just boop, 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 going back and forth, bringing eels. Like, that would be insane. It would just be non-stop points. And that's something that you can, you know, allow the entire faction to do. Because you just, all you have to do is friend them. Place foundations along the cliff areas. And then place raised foundations in front of them with ceilings into the cliffed wall to block visual of the containers. Yeah. So like what we were talking about. So for sure, the way we're going to want to protect our containers is this little trick. How would they know unless they bust open the wall? Oh, okay, I see what you're meaning. So you're talking about, like, build a base up here that looks like it's the actual base. And then on the backside, way back here, like all the way down on the ground, you're going to want to put, so you could even do it right here as kind of a tricksy little thing. Crazy how far ahead you are thinking of inventing strats. Ayub, I appreciate that. Yeah, so you build down here. That's a great idea. This is absolutely what we're going to do. So you build down here with your triangles. And so what you can do is you can raise them up like this. Okay. Get our base out. Into fly mode. I just want to put the base down somewhere so I can sort of see what's going on here. It also might not be possible to put bases down here because of the road or whatever that's kind of back here. I really don't know. But what we were talking about before, and I want to go back actually to my base so I can show you all. The way we want to defend the securement units is we're not necessarily going to defend them. Oh, that's a good point. I'll try that again when I get back down there, Fly Guy. But so this right here is this is a ceiling, and this is a foundation. So exactly what Flyby Guy is talking about happens, and these have a print on them. And the print that I'm using is this dark brown painted plank, but you could use, you know, this cement, whatever. It doesn't matter, because normally the ceilings and the floors look different, but if you put a print on them, then they look same from the top. So the whole point will be you'll build these honeycombed foundations up against that wall, just like Flyby is talking about. And then, so as they're trying to get into your core base, right, they won't know. And they'll want to be destroying stuff in the top because you'll leave it as walls so that they can see that it's foundations down here, because you can see the foundation, right? It looks like a foundation from this side. And then you'll climb up on top and you'll start destroying walls, because walls are easier to break, and you'll put doors and all kinds of stuff like that. And so they'll want to break through there, but they're not going to want to break through the floor. And also, if you do your exactly, camouflage is definitely the best. And so if we have, 20 bases over there, so the only thing that I think could give away the trick, Flyby, is when you're doing a securement, when you have the deviation in your inventory, and when it's in your securement unit, it appears on the map. So I think it'll probably be a small enough area that if you, say, put it over here, you would kind of be able to tell versus it being in the center. So they would know what part of the map or the island to attack. Yes, and if we do a ton at once, the area gets larger, absolutely. And if we spread them out, we can also make those areas sort of combine into each other and also make it look even larger. The wines formula? What are you talking about, Spud? Yeah, spread them out and make them large. Yeah, absolutely. Flyby, me and you are totally on the same. It does highlight the deviations when you're securing rocks. It absolutely does. It shows them on the map. But it won't give you an exact location. It's just going to give you a general idea. It looks a lot like when they showed it to us on the map or on the dev stream. It looked a lot like this, but smaller. Yeah, this is exciting. This is going to go so well. This is going to go so well. So let's go back down here. So we'll spread them out. And you want to put them in places that it doesn't make any sense to destroy. So there are only so many places that you can actually come up the side of this mountain. Like right here, you can come up the side. And back here, there was a place you could come up the side. But for the most part, the plants that grow on the walls are going to be... Oh, the vines formulas are going to be useful. What, explain that to me, because I don't think I understand what you're getting at there. And I want to know. How are the vines formulas going to be useful? They can't go on foundations, so they just go on walls. Ooh, you know what? That is actually pretty good. So check this out. So you are going to have to, but having control of an entire island, they can't respawn on top of, yeah, I mean, that's why I'm so stoked about that island. So one of the things that this will do is obfuscate these doors, because you do have to have doors, because you do have to be able to get into where the securement units are, and, you know, open up the spot. You have to be able to destroy this and then put your deviation in the securement unit, which means that the person who owns the core base is either going to have to give building permissions to a whole ton of people, and okay, let's go to some low graphics settings. Can I open that door? Oh, I can't even open the door. Do the vines have... Oh my gosh, the vines have durability. You have to break the vines before you can get in. And that adds 300 durability, which isn't a ton. But it's enough. That's crazy. That's crazy. Can I build vines on top of vines? Hang on. Before I check low graphics, I need to see if I can do this. Oh, I don't have any more. I don't have the blueprint. You can use that to hide your bit. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so Flyby, that is definitely the reason that the island is so important too, is because you can't drive trucks out here. Right? You can get trucks literally anywhere else. Okay, so you just totally camouflage the base. So the only problem I see with that is I wasn't able to put the vines on the foundations. I'm only able to put them on the walls. So you would have to surround your base in walls, which you totally can do, in order to make those vines work. But they definitely are good for obscuring things, and we're definitely going to find some good stuff to do with those. This is going to be great. Okay, let's get back down to our island here. But, so I'm certainly not the only person who... I'm certainly not the only person who has thought of the island as a good spot. The build limit will be a problem. Absolutely, Bubba. You do only get 700 structures, which is why we want to use the foundations for the honeycomb instead of the walls, because it takes 3 walls to make the same zone of a foundation. But, and that's why you need so many bases also, is because you need lots of places to do all of this stuff at. Please, thank you. Holy shnikes. But yeah, no, Bubba Fett is not wrong. We will be able to take territory specs that increase build limit. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Specs that increase build limit will be important. And, I mean, meme fragments that allow us to get more people who have increased build capacity is also going to be important. Let's actually... Can I please get off my bike? Why can't I get off the bike? Thank you. I'm going to rebuild my base here real quick so that I can destroy it. I really do hate this game sometimes. Yes, there are also ways to place... Ooh. Hold that thought. I have to go use the restroom real quick. I'll be back in like 2 minutes, but we're going to talk about that underwater thing. So explosives work underwater. So you could throw grenades and still break them for sure. It's just the surface of the water that is an impenetrable barrier. But if something explodes underwater, then it will also hurt things around it, so. Yeah, sure. Sure. But I don't think it would be possible to make a base far enough off the shore that you could actually make it impossible to grenade. I mean, it would certainly be difficult, especially if we owned the entire island. You'd have to actually come and be on the island. Yeah, and well, I don't think that would be borderline exploiting. I think we could safely say that is just straight up an exploit. And probably not something we want to do because we'd hate to get banned. That'd be awful. So click and see what it says. Cannot apply territory blueprint due to potential building, hovering, or collision with environment. Please adjust the height. Okay, game. Cannot be built near a road. Okay. I just need to find a more flat spot. Over here, I think. Probably gonna be good. But that underwater is definitely a good idea. And I do want to take a look at that. What do you mean potential hovering? There's no hovering here. Oh, okay, it's too close to a stronghold. Got it. You do have that one foundation that's lower than the others. That's probably screwing with it. Yeah, probably a little bit. But it's on the same level as the lower foundations of the main structure, too. It should be on the same level as that. There was a spot over on the island where it actually let me build it a couple of times, so I'll probably just move it there and then tear it all down. Just because I want to have my territory open to be manipulated. Gosh, this fog makes this even better. You can't even see. Like there's no visibility at all. Yeah, absolutely, but and it's going to be a problem in this Prismverse Clash event. There are going to be a ton of people yeah, flyby, definitely somebody does need to take that island out there. And Bubba, it's going to be a huge problem in this season. There's going to be so many people exploiting that. And it's really unfortunate. But it's not going to be something we're going to do. We are going to use trickery and deception and overwhelming force to win. But we will not exploit the game. I feel like this will be the season where floating your bells. Yeah, I hope so. I absolutely hope so, Flyby. Because that is really, really anti-fun. I mean, I know it's fun to win, but is it really fun to win if you cheated? And I know they say, well, everybody can do it, so it's not cheating, but seriously, just piss off. Considering it's almost entirely centered around base rate. Yeah, exactly. so we can get the base put down. There was a spot right over here. There it is. Ammo. Confirm it. And then we're going to tear up most of this. Unable to turn on flight mode outside territory range. No, I'm not. There we go. Destroy everything. Mental people who glitch into the off-limit zones before they... Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What are the weapons featured in which machine? Ayub, they did not show us. They did not show us. So I do not know. Oh, dude, there's sea turtles on this island, too. That's it. That seals it for me. Too bad I can't capture the sea turtles yet. I'm sure I'll be able to eventually. So this is going to be low enough that I can go ahead and build out here. So let's just see. First things first, I need to destroy a couple securement units. Let's go ahead and do that. And then let's see what it takes. Some building out here. Because you can interact with structures underwater. You can totally build right out here. That's not a problem. And you can sink that down. If you raise it up one, and still have it. Well, it's not really connected right there. So we can raise that up a little bit. We'll put it right there. Then can we build a securement unit on there? We absolutely can. Yeah. Flyby guy, just the katana for now. That is true, Bubba Fetta. They did say that we are getting the katana. That is important to know. But we don't know if that's going to be in the wish machine. We just know that we're getting the katana as a possibility. They didn't drop a nerf or buff patch note either. Yeah, we don't have any information, Ayub. It's pretty stick that corner on the shore and then just fly cam the other. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're definitely on the same page here. So you can put these down here. Securement units have 500. And honestly, it's pretty hard to see crap through the water. Like, pretty hard. But let's go make sure that you can actually interact with securement units. Of course, even if you can't, you can bring them out of the water. Yeah, you can just interact with them right here too. Which is insane. Place a jellyfish in there now. Yeah, there you go. Jellyfish went home. Jellyfish went home. Yeah, it's the wish machine item that can be bought. Oh, really? Okay. Well, that's important to know. Okay. Well, we can get this definitely pretty far under here. I mean, probably at least out as far as this. Which is pretty huge. So now let's see. Well, I can't destroy my own base. But I do know that grenades blow up out there. So I am 100% positive that you could at least try to do damage to it. Something I do want to check though is, can you place like satchel charges and stuff out there? And I also want to see if a biomass missile will penetrate the water. So let's get, can we go to, nope. Definitely can't. Yeah. Sink it in the river and nothing can hit it. Yeah. Okay. How am I standing on the ground here? What the heck? That's funny. That's fucking funny. It's literally just this spot right here. I can't even get back to it now. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. It's no big deal. It's exactly what I wanted to have happen. Exactly what I wanted to have happen. Okay. So I'm mildly concerned about putting things under the water. Yeah, right? Somebody clip it. They shouldn't self-kill. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But claymores are absolutely going to be fun because it doesn't look like, did that do any damage to my structure? Yeah, it didn't do any damage to my own structure. So you could put those for base defense. No, Darkling, I exploded myself with the claymore. It's true, Flyby, they are going to do it. But, and there's one thing that'll make me willing to do it. If I can shoot a biomass missile through the surface of the water, then I'll be willing to do it. But if I can't shoot a biomass missile through the surface of the water, then I think that might be too exploity for me. Because there's just a line between what feels like a really clever way to defend your base and PvP build we talked about. It's fully up on YouTube now. But OP PvP build that we talked about. You mean the OP weapon build? Can't place here. Okay, game. You're starting to upset me. Can I please? Biomass should not be on this event, in my opinion. Honestly, because you can put them on the back of trucks, you're probably right. That is probably going to be... No. Yeah, you can't even shoot biomass missiles through the surface of the water. Oh, nice. Thanks for clipping that. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Now my stupidity can live on forever. Ounce. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I did see that, and that is going to be... They need to fix that. Because that'll literally destroy this whole season. And I'm totally going to build a bounce weapon. Because of it. What are the bounce weapons? I'm pretty sure there's only one of them that'll actually work. Crit. Well, I guess you could crit a vehicle. Well, I posted it in the Discord since Twitch won't let me share it here. It let me share it to it let you share it to me because I see it. I don't know if everybody else sees it. I see it. When bounce hits, weapon damage plus 2%, up to 50 stacks. Honestly, I feel like the squid might be better. But you have to hit weak spots to bounce on the sniper. But the Kuma Wink is pretty good. Is this the whole realization people are finally making that bounce ricks off vehicles into players like crazy? Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's because vehicles are going to be so important in this PvP season. It's honestly going to break this PvP season. Because, you know, you're going to have people driving around in trucks and stuff all the time because of no teleportation. And using them to raid bases and all kinds of different stuff like that. So they really need to fix that so that you can't bounce off of vehicles into players. At least not players who are inside the vehicle. I could maybe be still okay with people who are outside the vehicle, but because I can't shoot players in the vehicle if they have windows and stuff without breaking the windows first. It really kind of makes the whole thing broken. But we'll see what they do. Yeah. I think we should avoid putting these things under the water. I think that's too much. Too much glitchy. I like the underwater, and I wish that there were actually some things to do underwater in this game. But the guy said it's the only way to counter the sniper bullseye builds, since when you get closer to them, they just F off with their cars. Absolutely, Ayub. And so for a sniper, it would also be a really good secondary weapon, because what I was having a problem with in my first PvP season was I was sniping. And so the minute I would try and hit somebody, they would hear my shot, or they would see my bullet, or they would get hit and maybe not get a headshot. They would instantly jump in their car and then just start running around the map in their car looking for me. And then they would find me and they would jump out of their car and then they'd start shooting at me. And so vehicles just kind of, I think, ruin the PvP experience in general. Especially because the grenade launcher only does like 36 damage to vehicles, and they have thousands of hit points. If the grenade launcher could do more damage to vehicles, then I don't think it would be a problem. Because you could just grenade launcher people's vehicles down and then kill them. And that would be fine. But as it stands, it's almost impossible to kill a vehicle, so they just need to fix that. Explosives in general just don't do enough damage to vehicles, and they for sure need to change that. For sure, for sure. So this is going to be... You don't need a door. If you have build perma, you can pick up the wall and then get in and press escape. That's true, but there's going to be so many walls to go through in order to get to the securement units. But actually, I just realized you don't even have to do that. So, because you can just go through walls, right? If you have build perms, you don't even necessarily have to be able to get to where the securement unit is, because you just come over here, pick up the securement unit, you place it where you can get to it, you put in your deviation, you pick it up again, you bring it right back down to where it needs to go, and put it in there. So you actually don't have to be able to, so you can just use walls. You're absolutely right. There is no reason to make life more difficult than it needs to be. So the whole thing could just be catacomb to hell, and totally impossible to get into, with as much random garbage in the way. I mean, you can fill this stuff with furniture. So you have 700 structures, but you also have 250 furniture. And furniture has hit points. And some of this stuff is big enough to kind of be in the way, or maybe you can't get through. you know, maybe putting a chair or a couch or something like that. You know, if you put this big old chair in here and maybe only used half walls or half walls. Now half walls are weaker, so you want to use full walls. But they might not be able to just jump over that chair. They might have to kill it, and it's got 300 hit points. So that's an extra explosion or two that they have to use just to get through there. What's up, sea turtle? Gosh, I love sea turtles. So freaking adorable. Oh my god. Please let me catch you. I just want to love you. So cute. Alright, anyway. So they might not be able to jump over this, so they might have to destroy it. And that doesn't count as structures, right? That just counts as furniture. You also have the functional facilities. You get 250 functional facilities. So again, finding something that's got a lot of hit points. That's 500 hit points there. Let's see if we can find something with some good hit points. Vending machines have 500 hit points. Is there a limit to how many vending machines I can have in my base? I'll put 250 freaking vending machines down in people's way. That absolutely blocks, right? You can't get past that. You have to blow that up. So that's an extra 500 hit points right there. What about Stardust Resonators? You could probably only have one of those. Oh. Hey, they got you. Flyby. Cannot build, insufficient water depth. They fixed whatever you were doing there. If it's under the water, you can't build it. That's funny. They got you. Hopefully they do that for the securement units too then. You can't build them under the water. Or at least you can't do the prism things. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What is there that you might be able to put down here to be in the way of some stuff? Well, not down here, but around here. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think vending machines are it. I think vending machines are the answer. Just plunk them down in there. Let them just be in the way. If I destroy, can I just get them on single triangle foundations? Alright. Oh, cool. That's super good. Super duper good. So I think we should go with the original plan. Yo, it seems like we could sign up next Saturday, not today. You can sign up today. I already signed up. I signed up for P-Clash X0001. But the thing doesn't start until the 26th, which is 3 days from now. So this Thursday. But you can also sign up for one that starts 3 days after that, which I believe it'll start on the 29th, so the Sunday. Yeah, you can sign up for one on Sunday as well. But I signed up on X0001. So if you go to, you can't do it on your primary character, friends. Which stage you at in this server? This is phase 5 right now. We're only a couple of days. We're 3 days and 21 hours instead of 2 days and 21 hours. So our phase ends, or our phase 5 ends one day after the new season starts, which pisses me off to no freaking end. Because why? Why would you set it up like that? Where your first servers, your people who want to be on your first servers, can't do it on the freaking main characters that they have in the game right now. So you have to completely create a new character, friends. And I'll show you with my relog in here. We'll just go get on our other character. And Survival Hermit is the character that I signed up on. And then you actually have to enter Eternal Land. You can't sign up from the main screen. You have to go to Eternal Land to sign up. If your character already exists. You know what's hilarious? I have alts I'd never leveled to unlock Eternal Land in servers that are closed at this point. I can't access them at all. Oh my goodness. You can't join new servers with those characters because you can't. Hold on, flyby. Oh no. No, because you can't use Eternal Land Island codes. But yeah, so you come into Eternal Land on a character that either has Eternal Land or on a new character. And then you just come over here to select a new season scenario, and it'll be available to you there. And then you can just sign up for whatever season you want. Your invitations are right over here. That is jacked up, flyby. Let's see if I can't figure out a way to circumvent that. Hang on. Enter Eternal Land doesn't work. Enter game doesn't work. Nope. There is no way to circumvent that. So if you never leveled up enough to get Eternal Land, you just straight up can't sign up for new servers. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. They gotta fix that. You should probably go mention something in the Discord, flyby, because they read that quite a bit. This is why we need to be able to delete our freaking... Yeah. I wonder what the reasoning behind this is. Seems a bit weird to lock access. Yeah, I don't understand either. Yeah. No, that's a really, really weird way to set that up. That's a really weird way to set that up. Yeah, I'm sure it's an oversight too, flyby, and I'm sure if people start putting it in the Discord, then it'll get fixed fairly quickly. At least I hope it'll get fixed fairly quickly. They are extremely responsive when it comes to fixing issues, especially big issues like that. So I'm not terribly concerned that it'll continue to be a problem beyond maybe this season. But it still is unfortunate for some people who, you know, like made characters and stuff so that they could go scout other servers. And, you know, now maybe all of their character slots are full, and so they're not going to be able to access the day one servers. Like, that could be a pretty huge bummer. And I would feel really bad for them. So one of the things that we're going to need to look at is how far away from a potential ingress point are some of these bases. Because, for example, over on this side where I'm standing at right now, like, so much of this is wall here, right? This is all sheer cliff, so you're not getting up this way, right? That's never going to happen. And so there's no reason to try and blow into structures on this particular side. So I think Flyby Guy is right. Building structures up to these walls where there's no ingress to the top is probably going to be the easiest way to defend those securement units. Because why would you put your securement units right out in the front? And why would you put them in those particular places? And why would people try and break in those particular places? So I think that's going to be a good spot for some securement units, and we're just going to dapple securement units, I think, all around the island. And so that way when you start putting lots of deviations in those securement units, then the entire island kind of starts to glow, and then nobody can really tell where your securement units with prism deviations are. It'll just look like the entire island is the attack zone. And then, I mean, we definitely want to have like a core area still where you have like your ultimate defenses, because it's still going to be really hard to get this far, right? If you put, because this is pretty close to the center of this island. And so if you're putting your core, your deviations here, you know, you're looking at maybe 2 or 3 bases deep on any side. And that's going to be really difficult to get to. I mean, getting through 2 or 3 bases is just a tall order. Especially if you have no trucks, right? You can't bring your trucks over here. They're going to have to, honestly, they have to get rid of this island. Like, we're going to take it over, and then there's literally going to be nothing anybody can do about it. I wish that I was a big enough YouTuber. Yeah. I wish that I was a big enough YouTuber that I had enough of a following that we could take over all 10 versions of the island. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that. But I think that would be hilarious. I wonder if you build your camp, I wonder if your camp prevents people from building. I'm not sure, because camps are pretty permanent. So honestly, the camps could be used as an interesting way to try and reserve spots, prevent people from taking over locations that you don't want to have to fight into. Then you'd never be able to use your camp for the rest of the season, but still, I think it'd be worth it. But I don't think it stops people from being able to create their territory. It might stop them from being able to build where your camp is, but I don't think it'll stop them from being able to create the territory. Yeah, I agree, Bubba. I don't use them anyway, either. That's a good point. But again, that might be on the level of griefing and exploiting. If you just start plunking a camp down and letting it be in the way to try and prevent people from being able to build in certain places. It would be different if you were just trying to reserve your slot, and so you plunked it down so that people couldn't build there, so they wouldn't build there. But you know, if you're trying to leave it permanently. The question, what's going to happen to your account in PvE X0007? Friends, I invited it. I sent it an invitation to the server that I'm joining with that other character. So hopefully that invite reserved its slot, and I'll just be able to join with this character after. But if that's not what happens, then this character is just going to sit here for that season. And then depending on what kind of weapons and stuff I get for the other character, I may just end up playing the Survival Hermit character. Because it's got my name. And I mean, I made this character before I even thought I was going to be streaming this game. And so I just got a name. I auto-generated this name from the system. Now you do have name change tokens. So eventually I was actually planning on buying a name change token. But me working my alt magic to send like 3 invites to my mains. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I can, friends. Absolutely. But here's the thing, friends. I am not sure, and I think that it's probably not true that me sending you an invitation is going to save your spot. So if you really want to play on the same server, the best thing you can do is make a new character and apply to the server with your new character, and then invite your own main character with your new character, because that'll mean that at the very least you can play the new character on that server, and then if we get lucky, then we can bring our alt characters in, or our main characters in. If you don't want to make an alt character, then I'll absolutely invite your main. And then just, if you don't manage to be able to get in, then you won't be able to get in. And if that's fine with you, that's fine with me too. But if you want to make sure you can get into the same server that we're going to, then the only way to guarantee it is to make a new character. Yeah, I mean, I don't play alts either. My character that I'm taking into the new season literally has no blueprints at all. I'm going in with basically a fresh character. I only ever leveled it to 20 so that it could get an Eternal Land, and that was it. I haven't played it like at all. So, and I think that's going to be the case for quite a few people, because of the way they set this up, and the fact that all the people who are playing day one servers can't take their day one characters into the new season. So I think a lot of people are going to have brand new characters on the new scenario. No, I could just send you an invite. I have to switch over to this character here real quick. Go back to this Eternal Land. I need to get on my other character actually and go ahead and... Boop. Go to invitations. What's your... what's your in-game name? because I do have to friend you on this character. And I forgot your in-game name. It is... I don't know how you accept it, friends, because I can't. So I invited my main character, and I don't see it. Because I can't even see the server list yet on my main character, so I don't know. I haven't used the invite system yet. And I actually need to go ahead and... I have this weird feeling because of what's going on with my alts with the Eternal Land BS. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on either, friends, or Flyby. I'm really... I'm very concerned about the decision that was made. If we don't level up those alts to Eternal Land access, they won't be able to transfer to the new season because they don't have access to the Eternal Land backpack transfer stuff. Yeah, I'm with you, Flyby. It's all very confusing to me. I just wanted to register that character because I'm running out of invites because you only get 5, I think. But yeah, so on my main character, I have that invite. But there's no options for me at all. Like, I can't see any Prismverse Clash servers here. I can't see... Hang on, though. Prismverse Clash... Okay, nope. Darn, I thought maybe I'd found a little trick to find some new information, but I didn't. Bummer. Because you said it could be full. Yeah, well that's... So... My hope is that if I send you an invite, then it counts as one of the invite slots for the max capacity of invites. And so you'll always be able to get in as long as you join within X period of time. But my concern is that it's not going to do that, and instead it's going to count the number of people who have joined due to invites, not the number of people who have invites. So more invites may be able to go out than ultimately are able to get utilized, like overbooking a flight. And if that's the way they count it, then it means that sending those invites doesn't reserve a slot. And so because we're going to be coming in a day late, we may not be able to get in with our main characters. And so I'm not exactly sure where the counting happens. And so I can't be positive that you're actually going to be able to get in on that character. Which is why I'm joining with a completely new character. Because I want to make sure I get in. Because I want to win the first faction war. Because I'm a psycho like that. Is there a way to just destroy this? Or do I have to, like, take it somewhere else? Man, there's so much weird elevation stuff that goes on here, too. I mean, putting these structures right here up against this wall would be really good, too. Because then you have the security of this cliff right here. It's going to be the 27th, friends. You're not going to be able to accept that invite on the Reyna character until this particular server that we're in right now goes to phase 6. And we don't go to phase 6 until the 27th. So even if you are able to join with your Reyna character, you're going to be a day late. Which is fine. You shouldn't be harmed in any way by being a day late. But because of that, there are going to be a lot more people joining on that first day, and a lot of people sending out friend invites, which is why I say that you may not be able to use the invite I sent you, because I don't know when they count it. I don't know if they count invites sent or if they count invites used. So you're going to have to be a day late if you try to use the Reyna character. And so I would sign up. Their PV or Prism Clash X0003 is also available for sign up right now. But it's not starting until 3 days later than the other servers. So instead of starting on the 26th, it's starting on the 29th. And I don't know why they chose to set you or allow you to sign up for something that's starting 3 days late at this point. I don't like the whole system that they're doing right now is just completely mind-boggling to me. It makes no sense. It is easily the worst system I've ever seen in my life. They should have made it so that signups didn't even occur until after the servers that we're on ended. Because we're on the first servers, they're going to end first. And then signups should have happened during our phase 6. And then we should have been able to sign up for the new servers. And then we should have moved on. But whatever. Whatever. I don't even really know what to do with myself. Guess we can do a little mocking up, or a little more mocking up. Of this build here. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted to do. Fly up. So from up here, I could actually get all the way down there. No, never mind. No, I can't. You could, however, get most of that over there. So what if instead we do this right here? don't think it worked. Your territory radius silhouette doesn't actually go all the way down to the ground. Oh, okay. Okay. So the silhouette doesn't go all the way to the ground, but can I still actually build all the way to the ground? Or... and I think it will block anyone from being able to build underneath it. Oh, really? That's interesting. But it does come up all the way. It just doesn't go down all the way. Let's find out. Structure cannot be built near a road. Okay, well that is going to be a little bit of the problem as well. So because this is road, you're not necessarily going to be able to build a base here. So what about if I do it like this? So it did let me do that. Okay, yeah, and it only lets me build so far underneath there. Or at least that's what it looks like. Okay, so I can't build there. It just told me that I couldn't build there because of the road. Flyby. Just said that. So I think what's going to end up having to happen is, like, in these places where the roads are at, you're actually probably going to want to do some overhang if it stops people from building underneath. And then you're going to want to build, like, here into the ocean and just extend out into the ocean. Teleport myself back up here. Nope. Didn't work. You're gonna need a ton of people to take over this island. Like a ton of people. So we're not probably going to be enough people to take over the island on our own. So what we might need to do instead is to look for an island that's being taken over and sort of invite ourselves along for the ride. And sort of merge ourselves with another group. I also need to check real quick. One of our viewers, Glass, is joining a team with Dead October and invited me to come and be in the same server as them and play with them as well. So I actually want to run over to Dead October's channel real quick and see. Are they signing up yet? Oh, it looks like they signed up for X0002. Well, if they're Rosetta, then we'll have people to kill. And that'll be fine. Okay, well, I don't know what those people are doing. I'm going to X0, or I'm going to X0001. That's just what's going to happen. That's just what's going to happen. Everybody else is too goddamn indecisive. Okay. So if we're going to have our base spot up here, what can we do that's unique to... I agree, actually, Bubba. Because we've got so many new seasons coming up, I think we're going to be able to grow the community pretty well. Especially if we do a good job in the next faction war. So I'm really going to be pushing to do a good job. Now, I don't want you all who are coming to play with me to feel like that means that I'm going to, you know, be upset if people aren't playing all the time or anything like that. That's just a personal, like, I'm constantly going to be doing a lot of stuff to try and help out. Farming a lot of mats, you know, leveling up really quickly, getting extra deviations for people, doing stuff like that. So don't hesitate to rely on me for some of that stuff if you all come to that server. If couldn't make in, I'll just go to the lowest cap for PvP server just to get the due deviations. Yeah, that's a good call. We must be on the lookout for no reload rocket players. That's a thing too. No reload. Awesome. Awesome. It'll be fun. That'll be fun. I mean, we'll just shoot him in the face. That's fine. That's fine. We'll just shoot him in the face. I mean, if they're cheating, it doesn't really change my strat any. Because you still just have to kill them to push them off. And so that's fine. It's whatever. The next thing I want to look at, so like you were saying, oh, you know what's totally cheating? And we should totally do it anyway? You could probably get out here far enough. We don't even have to defend anything. Because you can make it impossible to get to this island. If you build bases on the very, very edge and put them out far enough, you don't need to put your you don't need to put your securement units out here. You just build walls. Because you can't rocket from the shore out this far. It's not possible. The only place that you might be able to rocket from is that little area right there. Yeah, exactly. A foundation on the ground, wall straight up out of the water. And as long as your wall is where they're swimming, and they can't get up somewhere to jump, yeah, you can't do anything. You're literally stuck. You can't shoot rockets. You can't climb over the wall. You can't drive a vehicle out here to try and make a ramp. You just straight up can't get up here. It is literally impossible. And the only place that you would be able to shoot a rocket from is right there. And you can do literally the same thing on here with 2 bases. Heck, you might even be able to do it with 1 base, depending on how close. Yeah. You might be able to defend this entire little island right here with a single base. And there is nowhere that you can shoot this island from either. Yeah, you can definitely secure this whole island from a single base. Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Yeah, and just turn it into a lighthouse, absolutely. Just have a nice, cool... Okay. Well, this island is broken. You can't let this continue to be a thing. Yeah, this can be you, Fly Guy. Absolutely. I'm down for it. If you want to be the forward scout, you be the forward scout. That'll be Fly Guy Island right there. Now, it does take a ton of people, right? It's going to take like 30 bases to ring this whole island. But 30 out of thousands is nothing. I'll get on Reddit and see if I can't track down some more people. But if you can get this whole island circled, and you also have to secure the central part of the island so that people can't build bases here. But if you can get the whole island secured and you can get that over there secured, you're golden. Absolutely golden. So we're going to rush. We'll need a warband. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's completely impenetrable. There is nothing you can do to get up here. They have to put this island in the safe zone. They can't let this island be out here in the contest zone. Completely unfair. I mean, I guess you could argue that because there's 10 versions of it, every faction could get one. But honestly, that's just going to mean that every faction is going to do all of their securement here. And then the only fighting that's going to go on is open world fighting, trying to stop people from getting prism deviations at all. Which I guess could be fun, but I don't think they give a F about balance in this game. Yo, what's up, Renegade? How are you today? How are you today? We are strategizing. That's what we're doing. When the new PvP season comes out, Renegade, we're taking over this island right here. When they turned on weapon and set effects in PvP. I mean, you have to have the weapon and set effects. It's important. So, Renegade, if you want to play with us, if you're in the NA server region. Snowy Moon, hey, what's up? Can people kill me if I'm just collecting mystical crates? Yes. Yes, they can, Snowy. If you go out into the contest areas, let me open up my Prismverse map here real quick. Yeah, Flag Guy, but that's every shooter, right? Every shooter is just landing your shots. This wants to be a little different, right? This is an RPG. It should be. This is an MMORPG. It should be about your build. Your build needs to be important. What they need to do is they need to balance the builds so that everything is viable in PvP, and they just haven't done that yet. I think that we will be able to do that, but they just haven't been able to get there yet. So if we open this up, Snowy Moon, what you're going to see here is you've got all these safe zones. These 3 safe zones you can't be killed in. So any mystic crates that you want to get in these 3 safe zones, you'll be able to get. But when you go into any of these contest areas, you're instant flagged for PvP. Now, you don't die. Or, sorry, you do die, but you don't drop any loot. You don't drop any materials. You don't drop anything when you die. So, you're not going to lose anything for getting killed, but you are going to get killed if you go out there. What I will recommend is, if you do end up joining the PvP, and the only thing you want to do is to go get your mystical crates, is to take your truck with you, so you have a mobile respawn point. So at least when people kill you, you respawn fairly close. And, I mean, you could the the cookies or whatever. If a warband or hive is camping an area, yes. If a warband or hive is just straight camping an area, you are totally effed. Thankfully, there will be 10 worlds. Just like there are 10 worlds on the current servers, there's going to be 10 worlds on these PvP servers as well. And so it would be really unlikely that all 10 worlds will be super hard camped in all the same spots. So you may have to do a little world hopping, you may have to do a little maneuvering, but you should probably be able to get it done. Yeah. This is incredibly broken. That settles it. I'm putting my secondary on the Prismverse server. Do it. Party Wizard, we are on P-Clash X0001 is the server I signed up for. So do it. Do it up. Got like 260 folks I can rally anytime. But I'm having a selected few for PvP that let's see. Still undecided. I don't think anyone can withstand against my Discord server. 260 people. Yo, are you on the NA server, Snowy? Or are you on a different region? Because if you have 260 friends, I need you to bring them to the server that I'm going on so that we can take over this island. Because I want to take over this island. C region. No! We'll take over the map with those folks. No! Well, what you should do is you should take over this island. Because if you put walls, or if you put foundations out into the water far enough that you have to swim, and then you put walls up, you can't climb the walls. And you can't break the walls because you can't do anything in the water. Right? You can't shoot rockets, you can't do any of that. So you have to take over this big island, and one person has to take over this small island right here, and put walls all the way around everything. Ultra Pony with the follow over on Twitch. Thanks a lot, Ultra Pony. Welcome to the chat, welcome to the channel. But if you put walls all the way around this island, and you put walls around this little island right here, you can never be attacked. What about resources? What resources are available here? I don't know what resources are going to be available here because the map is going to change, but this is going to be a phase 1 zone, so you probably will only get up to steel resources here. But it won't matter because you won't ever have to leave if you want to win, because you'll be able to just sit here and fish and catch prism electric eels, and then put them in your securement unit, and then catch another one and put it in your securement unit. And then get another one and put it in your securement unit. It does have wood. That's true. We got wood. I mean, because there's nowhere close enough. Like the nearest land is over there or over here. And this is a safe zone. So the nearest land that you can attack from is way over here. And you can't shoot a rocket that far. Yeah, exactly. What's going to end up happening is each of the factions is going to take over as many of these islands as they possibly can. And then the only reason that PvP is ever going to happen is because you're just killing random people out here in the world. The base rating is going to be completely non-important. That's a little bit disappointing. Little bit disappointing, but F it. We gotta do what we gotta do. Gotta do what we gotta do. I have some questions, absolutely. Let's look at how many bases this is going to take. And let's see if there's anywhere where I just straight up can't build one because of this road. We can definitely build one all the way over here. Let's see. Okay, so you just can't build it on the road. Definitely going to be able to get... Really? I can't get into flight mode? Are you sure about that? Why can I get into flight mode sometimes and not other times? I've only ever leveled my secondary to 30, so I haven't tried PvP, but it'll be a good time. Sleepy? Absolutely. My alt also has only ever gone to level 20, because I just used it to get another... another Eternal Land. So don't even worry about that. Yeah, so you can definitely put it right there. The road only blocks it if you like straight up build it on the road. If I stay on my existing PvE, I can get another 12k Starchrome until the 17th. Calculated Prismverse gives around 19k Starchrome. Okay. Yeah, so you can build this out into this. And then just looking at how much space that takes up. You've got... you might not be able to put one right here. Or at least most of it would have to be out into the water. Snowy, I absolutely recommend moving to Prismverse Clash, even as a solo player, because you'll still be able to do a lot as a solo player because it's a faction war system. As long as you're willing to do a little networking and maybe friend some people on your server so that you can have access to their facilities, so that you can go put your prism deviations in their securement units and go help them with raids and stuff like that, then you should be really, really set. No, mayflies cannot kill other mayflies, Snowy. You are de facto teammates. You will just have to kill the other Rosettas, that's it. So as long as you can use other people's securement units and stuff, you'll be able to put your own prism deviations in there, and... so there are hives, there are no warbands. So you can have an 8-person hive, but there are no warbands in Prism vs. Clash. That is also a good point, Snowy, is... do I have to have rankings? How are the rewards organized? So you will get rewards for your faction winning. Then I think you will get rewards for your personal stats. And I'm not sure, but potentially you can get extra rewards for your hive stats. But for sure, your personal stats will give you increased rewards if you're in the high rankings of the personal stats. But that's going to be based on how many points you get, and the way you get points in the faction war is by putting prism deviations in securement units and securing them to earn points. And the securement process takes anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours, depending on the rarity of the deviation. So for the first phase, you're only going to be able to get the lowest rarity of deviations, and those will happen inside this central area that runs all the way up and down. And then you'll get the east zone over here. Sorry, you'll get the west zone over here, and then the east zone over here. And when you get in phase 2, when you get this west zone, you'll get the second rarity of the deviation, which is that Rex. And then in the east zone over here during phase 3, you'll get the third rarity, which is that by the wind deviation. But they have Digby Boys and Electric Eels and a couple of other ones that are prisms that happen in the first week, the first phase. And that's what you'll normally be repairing or normally be securing during that period. And I think they'll give you 40 points and they take 30 minutes. But it's based on your contribution of that prism energy. PvE folks ain't going to have a good time. You know, that's true. There is one type of PvE character or PvE player that will enjoy Prismverse Clash, and that is PvE players who like to play markets. So something that's going to be really, really necessary in Prismverse Clash is you're really going to need like foods and stuff like that, because we're going to be pretty constantly fighting, and you're going to want to get as much of an edge in that PvP content as you can get. And so food is going to be extremely important, but you can't grow food out here in the contest areas because your contest bases can be attacked anytime, not just when you're securing deviations. So if you're trying to grow crops, then people are just going to come blow up your crops, because why wouldn't they? They're on the opposing faction. They want to hold you back as much as they possibly can. They blow up your crops. That's a good strat. And so you're going to have a home base that's going to grow some crops for you here. Mother Sorrows, I'm happy to have you as the group cook. I think Gemini Jolly is pretty much in the same... Was it Gemini Jolly that said that? I think it was. He's in the same boat as you. And every group is going to need a cook. Renegade, I'm going to be one of those people. When Prismverse Clash drops, you're going to see a huge change in how often I stream. And it's going to go from, you know, the maybe 5 to 7 hours that I've been streaming for the past couple of weeks. And then it's going to start being 12 plus hours. Because I only played the first like 3 or so months of the new Ark Survival Ascended. And I had over 1,500 hours, I think, played. I was playing like 100-something hours a week when Ark Survival Ascended dropped. And that's absolutely what I'm going to do with Prismverse Clash. I'm always going to be online. It's going to be stupid. But PvEers will be able to build bases, to grow crops and stuff like that, to sell on markets. Because people are going to just be going through food like it's nobody's business. And growing good animals. Good animals are going to be really important in the PvP, so you can defend your base with them. I was playing nonstop every day last season. This season, my warband took a break, and I could never get into any of the fighting warbands on my servers, so I just kind of gave up. Yeah, Flyby, I had that problem in the first season, too. I played PvP the first season, and I just couldn't seem to get into a warband. So I just kind of meant it. Didn't really care. Thank God I'm not on C server. I mean, we would be friends, Renegade. We would be friends. You could come and be in my hive. Or share my island that we're going to capture. I think they should disable the kill system if you're just collecting mystical crates. I mean, then people would use that like as a way to cheat so that they could get close to the place where they wanted to get the prism deviation and then trigger the PvP and then get the deviation to run away. So you really can't do that, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that is not a possibility. But I will take all the PvEers if you just want a PvE and you don't want to deal with the PvP, you should still come to PvP or to Prism Clash X0001, because my group is going to be out doing stuff all the time. I'm going to be out doing stuff all the time. I intend to be, you know, active in the faction and getting large groups of people to go do things. That's going to be another thing is, you know, like we saw in New World, where people would do flagged up chest runs, where they would run around and pick up all the chests. The same thing is going to happen here for loot runs, right? You're going to get huge groups of people, like, you know, 20, 30, 40, maybe even 100 members of your faction, and you're all going to get together and you're going to go do, you know, a loot run in whatever city ends up being the best place for loot in the end game, which will probably be up here somewhere. Will NA server be available on my sign up? So you can sign up right now. On the NA servers. Let's see. Yeah. All the servers should have signups open. I am trying to build an army, Ayub. Yeah, but you should be able to sign up for NA servers right now. But the problem is you're not going to be able to sign up on your primary character. Because A, you don't normally play in NA, so you can't transfer your character across regions. You can only transfer... Oh, well, if you're going to go Rosetta, you don't want to come join my server. Because if you go Rosetta, I'm going to kill you. A lot. Like a lot. I'm going to be hunting Rosettas. You just pick. When you join the server, you pick. You don't pick when you sign up, which is stupid. I think you should pick when you sign up, so that people could see what the spread was while they were doing their sign up. But when you join into the server, you're apparently gonna pick. But yeah. You know, I'll take all the PvE people, because we're gonna be doing runs for resources and stuff, and I will happily drag PvE people along with me, so that they can get all their loot crates and all that stuff, get all their mystic crates, and then they can just chill in the safe area and grow crops and all that stuff. I think that's going to be a very, very important part of the PvP season, is having people who want to do stuff like grow crops and stuff like that. And I will absolutely support those people to get the things that they need so that I can have food. Gonna need them shattered breads. I can put the wallop on some people. Maybe you should post your stuff in the official Discord. I am gonna probably make a Reddit post and get on the official Discord and try and do some recruiting. Unfortunately, you can't make war bands, so we're gonna have to be like a group of hives that are all willing to work together. So there isn't going to be a war band, but I will be getting in the Reddit after this live stream is over and getting on the Discord and talking to some people and finding some people to play and have fun with, because we are going to get crazy. We're going to get all kinds of crazy. Honestly, this is going to be great because my birthday's coming up and I kind of wanted to do a 24-hour stream for my birthday. But I didn't know if the game was going to keep me interested for a full 24 hours. But we're going to be right going into phase 2. Ooh. Actually, I think phase 1 of the new season is 6 days. Oh, I think the last day is going to be my birthday. That's too bad. Doing a 24-hour stream on phase 2 day would have been super cool. Well, what are you going to do? January, February, March, April, May, June. Yep, September's only 30 days. Too bad. But I think I'll definitely be able to be entertained for a full 24 hours. I can't believe how easy this island is to defend. I mean, it takes a lot of people. It's gonna be so easy. Yeah, I couldn't do two 24-hour streams in a row, though. But I'll 24-hour stream on my birthday. I actually have a cool idea. I think I'm gonna build something in my Eternal Land and have people come try and kill me. Had I been in the NARC, we would have wrecked any group. Imagine rolling with almost 250 plus people. Oh, dude, it would be so much... It would be so much fun. So much fun. But that's okay. Eventually my community will be that big, and we'll get to have a good time doing stuff like that. In the meantime, the 8 or 9 of us that are gonna play, hopefully, will have fun too. And maybe I can find some more people. It'll take a bunch of people, but as soon as we get the entire thing surrounded, even with just wood, we win. Exactly. Well, and that's the thing, is you don't have to use anything but wood. Like, how broken is that? How broken? So, there's one way that I think maybe you could eventually get out here to attack this base. And the way you would have to do it, though, is so painstaking that I don't even know if it would be worth it. So you'd have to build a bunch of trucks. And your vehicles can crash into each other and push each other across the seafloor. So if you started from way over there, or honestly, you'd probably start from the safe zone over here, and you just started launching vehicles off of this point and kept smashing them into the rear of each other over and over and over again, depending on how the physics in the game work and how force is transferred, you may eventually be able to try and crash a vehicle far enough over here that if you built, yes, P-Clash X0001, that is correct, Sleepy Party Wizard. That's the one right there. And we're going Mayfly. So you're welcome to sign up for Rosetta, but if you do, I am going to come after you in particular. But you may be able to crash enough trucks and build a high enough platform on here that you could actually shoot rockets and blow up some of that stuff. But that would take a lot of trucks. Gotta go to sleep. See you, take care. Love how... Yeah, absolutely, Renegade. And thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being in the chat. I really appreciate it. Love seeing some old faces back in the chat again that I haven't seen in a while. Makes me so happy. We are going to have so much fun this season. But you're just going to be cramming these trucks into each other. And again, I don't know how the physics works. I don't know how many trucks you could do in a row. But then you build a really tall platform, or as high as you can. You can only get a couple of walls high. And then you'd have to stand on that platform. But it would be super easy to defend against, because you just have to blow up that one platform. And then they can't do anything. And then you just rebuild your walls. And you're fine. So, a lot of trucks, and if they did do it from there, they'd be doing it from an area we could go over and just farm them. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, can we kill them in our safe zone? I thought it was a safe zone for everybody. But we can kill them if they're in our safe zone? That's hilarious. That's freaking hilarious. I mean, I guess that makes sense. It does say Mayfly safe zone. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, isn't that the point of faction specific? Yeah. I mean, you're right. I don't know why my brain just thought that it would be okay for everybody to be there. But definitely, that is not the case. So, I don't know. Man. The public one will have no kill anyone, but their zone... Yeah, that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. Don't know what I was thinking. Good job. Good jobba. And there's lots of gasoline here. Because you got all these broken trucks. Or broken cars. Which is crazy. Being able to just farm gas on your own island is busted. Just nice. Nice. What I would do, Party Wizard, is if you want to try and bring your main character in there, go ahead and try and invite, right? Use one of your invites on your main character, and maybe that will reserve your main character slot. So maybe you can bring your main character in as well. If it's not like that, then what's the point of it being a safe zone other than our bases are safe? Maybe, yeah, I don't, I guess maybe if they made it so that only Mayfly could build in the Mayfly safe zone. I don't know. I think you're right, Flyby. I think that's probably how it's going to be. I think I was mistaken. Sea turtle. Turtle. Gosh, I love turtles. So freaking adorable. Ooh. This is gonna maybe cause a problem right here. I don't know if you can build. See, the closest place you'll need to build to this is right here. It may stop you. Let's see. Enter fly mode. There we go. Doesn't look like it's going to stop. Go to fly mode. Go further forward. Let's just go here. We'll go back to build. We'll hit C. We'll go back into fly mode. Okay, yeah. Will let me build here. That was going to be the most potentially difficult spot to defend, because that was going to maybe be in the way. Those areas don't necessarily need any land base anyway. They can just strictly be a terminal on the shore and walls. Exactly. Exactly. That is the case. Don't forget to do like Streamlabs says there, and hit that follow button if you're on Twitch, and the subscribe button if you're on YouTube. I am trying to get these two channels monetized so I can stop working for two huge corporations for free. So I'd really appreciate any support. We are going to be live streaming a whole heck of a lot of the Prismverse Clash season, because I'm going to really be enjoying that. We should have some really good long streams. Really going to be a lot of fun. Right now we're just kind of strategizing how we're going to defend this this island. So I want to take my hive and as many people as I can get. This could be the meeting house. I love it. I love it. We'll totally make that the meeting house. So we're going to take over this island right here. And the way we're going to do it is going to be super easy. Because all we're going to have to do is build walls. As long as you build walls out far enough that the person is swimming, then there's literally no way for them to get over the walls. Because you can't use weapons when you're out here swimming. And here's another spot where you can stand. I'm starting to think that that might be a more common thing than I want it to be. Ooh. Ayub. I would never. Yeah, if this bug keeps happening, we might end up with a bigger problem than we thought. I think I can make it happen. I don't think it has anything to do with the ledges. I think it's the angle that I'm swimming towards the ground at. Oh, maybe it is the edges. Yeah. Yeah, so it is something just specifically about these ledges that makes it possible. And I think it's when you're swimming up. You can even breathe when you do that. That's interesting. Can I do it here? Not be enough space here. I mean, yeah, but also not really into getting people banned. Oh, you can do it all the way on the floor. Yeah, so it's just about when you're on the floor and you're angled, you gotta angle as high as you can, and then you just tap forward and you'll stand on the ground. And I wonder if you can shoot through from the bottom. That might be super busted. That's funny. Yeah, I think you could shoot through. Well, no, maybe you can't. Because it does an upside down splash. See that? That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, our little island excursion might not work as well as we thought. That's too bad. There's no other way to break through. What are we gonna do with that? Yeah, exactly. But honestly, so here's the problem, is that if people do that, then it actually kind of creates a situation where they're really hard to kill. Because they'll be under the water and standing on the seafloor. So either we'll have to go down here and use the same exploit to shoot at them, which literally means standing still and shooting at each other. Which is kind of funny, honestly. Or they'll be invincible because we can't shoot them through the water. So we kind of create a situation where our enemies have an advantage against us. Yeah, that exploit's gonna be a problem. Gonna be a problem. And I don't really know what to do about it. Can we build... Let's teleport back over here. Can we build turrets under the water? Make them at least have to try and destroy the turrets first? Fly, 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 fly. You can absolutely build turrets underwater. Oh, this is so broken. So then you also just put your turrets underwater out here. And so as they're trying to swim up to even see if maybe they can get up here, they're just getting shot. And I mean, we'll have to double check and make sure that they can. If you all can hear me, I think we're just going to call it. I want to thank everybody for coming out, supporting the channel, and everybody who subscribed or followed or anything like that. I really, really appreciate it. We're going to have a lot of fun playing the new Prismverse Clash here in a couple of days. We are going to be back tomorrow for a stream at the regular time, which is 11 a.m. Pacific. So come hang out. We'll do a little more strategizing. We'll maybe do some more PvP in Eternal Land. And then Wednesday I'll be taking the day off. We do some more PvP in Eternal Land. And then Wednesday I'll be taking the day off. And then Thursday it will be time for the Prismverse Clash. So we have a full schedule ahead of us and a lot of fun to look forward to. So thanks again.